Greetings and salutations, and welcome to another edition of the YouTube channel Too Many Plugins and Delta X-Ray. I'm your host Alex. Today we're gonna test here a little bit Unreal Tournament. Okay, they have some sort of anti-cheat running over here. I'm on 48 or 50 ping, so I don't have really the best ping in this moment. Manually set it the resolution to be a little bit visible here on OBS. So hopefully, oh, let me see. By the way, what is my ping in this moment? I think I have 33 of ping, but it feels way bigger. I need to probably here change still my point of view. It's running a little bit weird. Yeah, I just manually changed the ini file. But it's a little bit weird, to be very honest. Of course. It was the end of the round. And by the way, here I'm actually running here the original version that I have of DVD. Is that a CD or a DVD? No, it's a CD. It's a triple CD. I'm running it straight from there, but then I'm using the key of Unreal Tournament 2003, not 4. So there you go. Which you can use actually. Need to run in just the anti-cheat. Maybe that's why it's a little bit running a little bit more poor than normally. But also I set it myself, the resolution in the configuration file manually, but maybe the point of view I should actually alter a little bit. Because I have now a little bit of a weird, I don't know how to explain it, like a weird visual thing going on. The depth is a little bit off. Seems sort of that I'm more focused on the image. I'm more on top of the screen. So yeah. Not really the best like this. I don't even know if this is gonna really come well on OBS. It's a 720p this, but this game is not really designed for 720p, so am I the only one over here? Beauty. That's a bit how you doing. Was that the DGG, some guy that I was yesterday also playing with here on this server. So yeah, it's a little bit weird. Yeah, I need to change the point of view a little bit still. But at least it's already running in 720p. Son of a bitch, this DGG 3R yesterday killed me I don't know how many times. It's saying here 32 ping or something, or 38 ping it was saying, but it is way more this. I can tell you that. Ping 48. But it feels like it's way more the ping, but this can also be because I myself here changed this to this resolution, so. So no. Killed by Mr. Noobs. God damn. Sorry, my DPI is a little bit off. This game, by the way, runs way better on Windows 10. I don't know what that is, but it runs way better. I had already the same configurations like this. Even just added the config files like this, but it's now like really weird. It seems like the point of view is off. Oh my god. Yeah, so Mr. Charlie Kirk, they took him also out, unfortunately. I think many people don't realize how important that guy would have been in the future, you know. Charlie Kirk was basically on the young people, and actually on the many older people, actually even they said almost as favorable, or maybe even more favorable than J.D. Lunch. So there's many people saying even the way that guy was going with his political career and stuff, and where he basically was already walking himself as a not just a spokesperson on universities and stuff, but that he was also like yeah, basically already running really big. Oh my god, oh, there's a huge lag over here. So a bunch of my rockets just didn't even connect. Yeah, the same. Basically, they were saying the way he was going, that he basically would have probably been a president in the next 8 to 10 years. So there you go. Yeah, and that's where you have the loving radical left, you know. They're such a lovely people, you know, but yeah, not really, yeah. Lately, I'm only listening about murders and you know, all sorts of things and all sorts of protests and hijacking of universities and of Microsoft and of Tesla dealers and of the only thing I'm listening already for months and months and months is stuff that comes from the radical left. These guys are really turning into a domestic terrorist organization, basically. And everybody knows that. I mean, they don't have the whole story yet, but everybody knows that, you know, who did it exactly. Maybe that's then still a question mark, but everybody with the same brain knows that this was a politically driven assassination, of course, not any other thing. But they say already there were already shells found, and the gun was found that was full of, yeah, also basically radical left messages carved in the bullets and transgender messages and stuff in it. So yeah. It says it I have 48 ping, but I have the feeling I have way more. It feels really sluggish, this. And many of my guns, my shots were not connecting.
1 minute remains. Thirty seconds left.
These kinds of things are really, really worrying. It's the result of so many years cancel culture. This is the result of so many, you know, calling people for no reason, years and years, you know, fascists, Nazis, all sorts of things that people call each other today, you know. And this is the result of, and for that even the media is responsible, you know, and also many political groups and also individuals on the internet, on social networks, who are just radicalizing other people, you know, calling people very quickly if they don't agree with your ideology or your thing, then you call them Nazis and you call them this and that, you know. And you need to understand, you know, in the world there's many people that say those kinds of things, but then they understand the consequences and then they don't actually mean it. But then you have also some people in the world who actually really mean it, believe it, and or actually literally just support that. And then you have also, this is why this is so dangerous, you know, of having this kind of rhetoric, you know, because, you know, you get to a situation, you know, where you're also radicalizing with that people who are emotionally not so stable, you know, and, you know, that is what I think the result is of this, you know. People today use very quickly language and rhetoric that very quickly, especially more emotionally unstable people, you know, they become completely radicalized. And if then even the media and the news and the social networks and everybody is beeping that crazy message, you know, then yeah, what are you waiting for then, you know? You're waiting for somebody to snap, you know? And then also just you look on Blue Sky and on many social networks on Reddit, and you just have people there celebrating it and stuff, you know, and even radicalizing each other even more, you know. So yeah, you know, I'm not so much into censorship or stuff like that, you know. But we came also to a point in society where also social networks and you know, also need to start a little bit, yeah, how to call it, moderating more, and you know, and trying to eliminate this kind of basically hate speech, because that's what it is, you know. I mean, I don't believe in hate speech laws, you know, but I have to admit myself, you know, and I certainly don't believe in censorship, but then also I have to be really, really honest. If I see what some people are saying on the internet, just glorifying murder of innocent people because they don't agree with their ideology, it's just ludicrousy. So, and in that sense, that kind of language and rhetoric, we need to do really something about that. That is actually hate speech, and it is radicalizing people, and it's costing people their life, and who doesn't see that is an idiot, Yeah, so I mean, I'm not in favor at all of censorship and of all sorts of things like that, but I think that also like social networks need to start a little bit cracking down on that, I mean, if you just have these kinds of networks where people just openly, can radicalize each other and call for murder and for attacking innocent people and calling for hate and violence to others, I mean, there needs to be done something about it, and let's face it, 90% of the population says that, but then doesn't really actually really mean it, but there's that 5%, or that maybe even 2% or 1% that actually, for whatever reason, or because they really believe in it, or maybe because they have, psychological issues, that they believe in it and they start acting and living in it, and it's why, words are really, really powerful and really dangerous, So do I believe in hate speech laws that people should be prosecuted for hate speech? Well, that I think is a little bit difficult, but should social networks crack down and filter that kind of content out and sort of, shadow ban that kind of content that other people don't see it? Yeah, probably, And if people really call for really, violence or if they call for that, then there should be laws against it. And I think there are already laws against calling violence upon others. I mean, as far as I know, in many countries you can't do that, You can also not, in many countries, incentivize people for starting a riot. And you can also not incentivize people to start, attacking or murdering someone, I mean, as far as I know, that's not allowed, Oh my God. So, yeah. As long as we have networks over there where people literally are calling for each other's death and radicalizing each other and glorifying that, and if these, there should be some moderation coming. There should be some censorship. It should be, it's not good, And this is what I have also a problem with mainstream media, The mainstream media is not just that they're not telling you the truth about the news. No, they're actually just, distorting the truth and the news and, only present them what they want you to hear and manipulate and modify all sorts of things, And then the problem is that even them are stimulating and enabling these kinds of words and rhetoric and discord, So I think they are accomplished, I really do think that. And the Democratic Party also, by immediately calling people like that the far right and Nazis and fascists, and they all the time do that, And then you have people that take that with a grain of salt, and you have people that take that really literally, and then they see everywhere in the mainstream media and on social network people saying these kinds of things, and they start believing in it. And they think everybody thinks like that, and they think, well, everybody even talks on Reddit about that it's fucking okay to just hurt these people, so it must be okay, and they just do it. I mean, there's a lot of people in the world with serious mental issues, and you cannot be just, preaching all sorts of things just like this without understanding the consequences of that rhetoric, And that's the problem, So yeah, I hope that really everybody starts backing down a little bit, you know. All these groups on Reddit, and you have it even on Discord, and you know, and on Blue Sky, and on Facebook. And man, you see people say things. You just wonder what. First of all, why are they saying that? And second of all, you know, I mean, it's just not good. It's not healthy. It's not, you know, a good society to live in. To be saying those kinds of things about people you don't agree with, you know. It's people you only politically, you know, or religiously, or socially you don't agree with. You know, it's they haven't done anything to you besides you don't agree with their political orientation or ideology. And I find it so crazy that people, for you not agreeing with them because of their ideology, religion, or political beliefs, that you feel the need that they need to be, you know, taken off this planet. It's just crazy, man. Fucking crazy. It's lunatic, ludicrousy. These people are lunatics. So yeah, and then it doesn't surprise me also, you know, that they are radicalizing people because probably they themselves are a little bit lunatics. We're talking here about very serious things, man. We're talking here about people that are trying to, you know. Man, that was fucking weird, man. So yeah, what can I say? Very sad. The hatred that these people have towards others, and violence for people they purely don't agree with, you know. It's crazy, you know. We need a big war again, guys. Because when there comes a big war, everybody forgets about inclusivity, equity, and inclusion, and all these kinds of identity politics and racism. When there's really a big war, and those things normally they disappear temporarily with people. Yeah? Our society have lived so long into a comfort, into a safe zone, you know. That now even you not agreeing with them is a reason for you to be eliminated from this planet, which is completely ludicrousy. But there you go.
1 minute remains. Thirty seconds left.
And all these so-called social justice keyboard warriors are online over there behind their screen in their safe zone, you know, but they're radicalizing a hell of a lot of people, you know. And some that get radicalized consciously because they even want to be radicalized because they even agree with that ideology, and other ones that get radicalized because they are seriously emotionally unstable, you know. And that's really sad. That
1.
I hope that the people start really learning a little bit about that your words really matter, you know. Your rhetoric really matters, you know. If you for years and years and years having this kind of hate speech, then don't be surprised if you get people who start really hating and really get radicalized and then even do crazy things, you know. Because not everybody is 100% sane. And you have even people who are sane who will do it because they're just literally born evil. This is not just about people only that have psychological issues, because be careful, there are literally just completely 100% sane people who also like this kinds of hate speech and violence. So, you know, words really matter, you know. See what you say. Holy moly. Yeah. Yeah, people, so be careful what you say, you know, be careful what you do. Careful what you wish upon others. Sometimes it's a bad idea. Be careful for your own, for your words, and always consider that your words, you know, that not everybody is so mentally stable, you know. You son of a bitch, man. Oh my god. That is the same, like I, by the way, don't agree also at all with people who for some reason or the other who for some reason or the other also attack any kind of religious group or any kind of ethnicity or race. I really don't agree with that. Those words you should also not do. I don't like at all when I see people in chat, even in video games. For me, guys can even offend each other in Battlefield. Oh my god, he had the flag gun. You know, that they offend each other in other ways is normal. Boys are boys, guys are guys. They do that on the Battlefield server. But in the moment I see them start throwing in all sorts of political kind of stuff or offenses or religious, then I'm already not liking it anymore. That's so funny of guys, you know. Guys have always ways of literally offending each other without actually being political, you know, or being religious. You don't need to do that, you know. Men are very good in offending each other without using any politics or any religion, you know. That's why would you do that if you can do that without actually, you know, hurting people's religious or political ideology, you know. Dude, you stayed a long time alive. Yeah, so I'm now actually just playing with my Unreal Tournament 2003 CD key online, which is kind of funny that. From 2004 I don't even have the original, I have the original disc still, but I don't have the original booklet anymore. I don't even know what happened with that, but... At least not of the original one. That's the one that also still has a Linux installer on it, which is kind of cool. There he was again. Who was that? Flak cannon? Yeah, it was. Yeah. So maybe the crackdown of the internet, you know. There's a lot I don't agree with. A lot of things I don't agree with a lot of censorship. But that there needs to be some sort of moderation and some sort of, you know, elimination of certain kind of speech online. Especially that kind of speech. When it's calling for violence or, you know, offending other people's religion, then I think that there should be some moderation and that should be minimally repressed. Gotcha! Oh, 6. Oh my god. Now I need life. Come on, up here. I cannot even move from here now. Oh yes. But the problem is that these platforms, many of them don't moderate it, you know. There are platforms who moderate it and that filter it out, that kind of speech. But there are also many that don't, man. That completely agree with that, you know. And that's the problem, you know. And they allow it even, you know. They even enable it, they encourage it, you know. And that's the problem, you know. So lots of these platforms we are talking about, the people who work there are themselves also completely radical left wokies, you know. That allow this kind of stuff, you know. So yeah. You're running, by the way, the old Gotcha. So yeah, this is also a little bit the result of so many years, you know. The internet just being a wild, wild west where everybody just says whatever. Oh my god, man. Whatever they feel like saying, you know. And now it just became so normal that these people just, they go to certain social networks and they just say whatever they feel like saying, man. Doesn't matter if it's, you know, offensive or if it's... They don't care, man. And people get then surprised that you get these kinds of things, you know. And all of them is the same lately. All these kinds of murderers and people that were attacking and all these, you know, people who were then involved in certain attacks and domestic terrorism in these kinds of, how do you call it? Social justice warriors and activists and all that kind of stuff. And if you read their basically what was moving them, their ideology and their you know, then it's all the same stuff. It's all people that are fucking radicalized. Oh my god, man. I'm dealing a little bit here with some latency. Yeah, it's a little bit dragging. But yeah, man, keep on calling everybody just immediately a Nazi, a racist, and all sorts of things. And yeah, that's gonna go very, very well, you know. The problem with this kind of stuff, you know. Don't be surprised if people start taking literally what you say, you know. Don't be surprised if you get people who are really emotionally unstable and they start doing bad things, man.
Five-minute warning.
And it's really incredible because Charlie Kirk was really a nice guy. And he was a very good communicator and he was politically hitting it really, really, really high. He could have seriously be a candidate for a president with his popularity. But that is not gonna happen anymore. But he was really a nice guy. He was a very, very special guy. Really, his whole thing was about giving other people a chance to speak, you know, even without agreeing with them, you know. And that is just, yeah, really sad. That apparently there were people that thought he didn't belong in this world. It's really sad. Really sad story. I've seen a guy talk with so many people, and even people that were completely offending him, calling him names, and he just kept on and always be polite and nice to them, you know. So he of course confronted them when they were full of shit, you know, and sometimes in a more hard way, you know, but never without respect for them, never intolerant, never. On the contrary, actually many times very tolerant. And very much trying to accept their point of view and... Yeah, very sad story. And then even sadder that you had people celebrating that. That's just really so fucking sad. That is just unbelievable, really.
3 minutes left.
It really just shows, you know, that we live in a society where we live with a lot of people that don't understand nothing of empathy. They never have suffered anything. And this is why they're so... without empathy for others. They never knew what that was. They just... you know, I think that has a lot to do with people living too long in a safe zone. That's why they lost their empathy for other people. Very strange. That's very strange. I hope that this is a message. I hope that this is gonna change some things in the world. That people start really using different rhetoric and start. But let's see what's gonna happen. It's just gonna hold. Okay. 1 minute and a half to go. Yeah, then I'm gonna leave it also over here. I was just here to test this quickly. I just installed this and I manually just set it the video settings. Oh, let's just give this a try. See if this stays a little bit good also in the live stream. This, by the way, if you want to do this, then you have to do it really in the ini file. Just ask to Google, set your screen resolution, VSync and refresh rate. That I have just set it manually over here. There was something else that I still set it also.
1 minute remains.
I think it was maximum frame rate. That was Kamikaze, 40 seconds left. 30 seconds left. Twenty seconds left.
Ten, 9,
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You lost the match.
You have lost the match.
Good game, guys. Okay, guys, we're gonna love you and leave you. I'm gonna leave it over here. Okay, guys. Thanks for watching and listening. And I hope to catch you in the next one. Critical error. We got a critical error, but it was running anyway. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Cheers and beers. Catch you next time.